Okay, with me now is Evelyn Liu from QT. Now, you might recognize that name. Evelyn was on here earlier on this year, or was it late last year? I can't recall.
Last year, but released this year in January, 18th of January.
And that was like you were final year students working your way into your final year. So that episode went really well. I'm glad you've come back on here to talk about how I chose my employer, a new graduate's perspective on everything. Okay, so I'm going to dive straight into the first question, which is where did you look for job opportunities? Where did you search out the different positions that were available?
I think I would just prescribe all the job advertisement company, including Seek, also LinkedIn. So I was pretty much open to all the platforms,
Okay.
and I feel there's more opportunities. I can see different job offers. But for the location wise, because I was interested in Sydney, so I was booked for the Sydney kind of job opportunities. Yeah.
Ah, that's right. And I remember you telling me that. I don't know, when we met in Cairns and we had a burger, I think you told me then that even though you studied in Brisbane, you wanted to get a job in Sydney. So location was
Yes.
an important thing for you.
Yes.
Okay. Out of curiosity, side question, if the perfect job had been offered to you with everything you dreamed for under the sun, had it been offered to you in Brisbane, would you have stayed or no, you were still planning on going to Sydney?
No, I would say I was still planning to go to Sydney, even though everything is perfect, offer, the wage is good. I guess I probably prefer move to Sydney.
No, that's
Yeah.
okay. That's fair enough. Okay, so the
Yeah.
second question. So now we've narrowed it down. You're looking for positions in Sydney. Was there anything about any ad that as soon as you saw it, it just immediately put you off? It was a red flag. You went, oh, no, that doesn't look like the sort of position I want.
Um, I think maybe there's only one thing that probably is my big concern is the variety of the job. It's limited. For example, it's only like a mobile podiatrist visit people's home.
Yeah.
So I'm actually a bit worried as new grads. I want to see as much as possible for me to get a bit more experience. I would probably prefer the job that can make me learn more about podiatry.
So jobs that said, oh, we cover all aspects of podiatry was more of an
Yes,
interest than
yes,
something that
exactly.
was very narrow.
Yeah,
Okay, that's good. Because I remember when we had the burger and you said that you liked
yeah,
high risk feet, routine foot care. And when I mentioned biomechanics, you went, eh. But now you
yeah. I
sort of,
changed.
you've changed. Okay. And I think that's really important because I know when I graduated, I had these blinkers on, oh, I wanted to work with elite sports people until I worked with elite sports people. And I realized I didn't really enjoy working with them. And even though I still did, it didn't excite me as much as I thought. Okay,
Exactly.
so the next question is how many interviews did you actually have, knowing that you were specifically looking for Sydney anyway?
I think in total, before I got my official job, before I accept my official job offer, sorry,
Yeah.
it was 4 times in total.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's a good number.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did you learn from the interviews?
I guess that's also maybe relevant to the last question. The reason why I kind of reject certain offers.
Yeah.
That's why. Yeah.
So was that because of location wise, they weren't in Sydney or they were just too far away?
Sydney's really big, and especially during the rush hour,
Oh,
the
yeah.
traffic could be really hectic. Sometimes when it's not busy, driving, for example, like if it's take an hour, for example, with the rush time, sometimes it could take close to 2 hours, for example. So
Okay.
probably with that kind of extensive commute time, I would probably say, sorry, I'm probably, I feel I'm gonna worn out very quickly after I start working for a few months.
That
So
makes sense.
location wise, even it's in Sydney, I still need to think about it. That's one important part. But second one I would say is not enough support from the senior podiatrist. There was
Yep.
this clinic, they only have one senior podiatrist, and also and he was, I think they were part-time
Yep.
podiatrist.
Okay.
So I just feel I probably need to be independent most of the time just by myself. So I feel I need some support.
Yeah.
Um
No, that's fair enough
Also I
too.
think um yeah, yeah. In the last part, I probably also need to consider is about the financial part. I know money is not the most important thing as a new grad, but I feel because I want to start my life in Sydney, if a company only pay me with minimum award, which is, I just feel I can't make a living. Like I can only use the weekly wage just pay for the rent, and I have nothing left, very much left.
Yeah, with the position that you actually said yes to, because you've jumped ahead of me here, the position you were going to say yes to for 2024,
Yeah.
what made you say yes to that particular position?
I think it's uh I think just with my background, because I original from China, so
Yeah.
I probably it's not really big factor, but I was interested in looking for the clinic that's in a more multicultural area, so I can use my first language as part of my strength,
Yeah, that's
to
good.
help people who can also speak, because I feel it might not have that much podiatrists can speak fluent Mandarin, so I feel if I can speak Chinese really well, and then I would love to help patients who are looking for podiatrists and prefer who can speak Mandarin properly. So I'm looking for places in multicultural area on purpose, and which is also the company I'm going to work for. The actually a majority they have multiple clinic sites in Sydney, and they really appreciate the podiatrists can speak Mandarin.
No, I think that's a really good factor. And that's something really clever to sort of work towards too, is knowing that you still want to use your language and actually help patients. No, I think that was great. You've already answered the question really about was money a factor, because it was a factor, but especially in Sydney, because you pay your rent, you got nothing, you got no money left. Yeah, money would be a factor, especially in
Yeah,
Sydney. What aspects of podiatry
yeah,
do you like? I know we touched on it before, because you told me once that
yeah.
it was routine and high risk feet, but is that still one aspect that you really do like a lot?
I think I would love to in future potentially if there's some opportunity, good opportunity. Maybe I'll considering high risk,
Yeah.
but so far I just really like the variety of podiatry and do the hands-on because I do appreciate the very hands-on practice. For example, ingrown toenail surgery, but I just really enjoy doing that kind of part of and I also have the one-on-one proper conversation with patients. I think high risk is really good, help the community, but I just feel at this stage I probably appreciate more about the private practice because it's got more variety of tree.
Okay, so we've answered all the questions. The last thing is it's not so much a question, it's more of a comment. If there were employees out there who are listening to this, do you have a comment for them that could actually make them either better employees, or if they were creating an ad or putting something together to maybe entice a new graduate?
I feel like maybe it should be more genuine, be more honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like more open communication, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have heard that in the past, not just on this podcast, but students in the past when you're talking about employers, and sometimes, yeah, they're just saying, I wish they were just more open and honest and really transparent about the position that was available, not sugarcoat the position. And then once you start looking at it, you go, yeah,
yeah,
it doesn't sort of match. Just that they would rather an honest reflection of where they're going to be working compared to embellishing or almost telling lies, and then they feel
yeah,
uncomfortable.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Because there's one interview I actually went in person, but in the end I didn't accept the offer. Is because I'm trying to ask the awards are gonna get for my next year, or I was asking, like when we're gonna sign a contract, but they just said maybe after you graduate and then you get all your marks out and then we will talk about that, like in touch with it. And also I send them an email about this award that you mentioned, this website, this is what you mean, and then they just never got me back. I just feel like being more honest, like if you really interested about this, the podiatrist final year podiatrist or like the potential future employee, I feel just being more like honest with what your thoughts rather than just never get back. I
Oh,
feel a
no,
bit
no.
hurt that time.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
think that's all very, very valid. Okay, Evelyn, I want to thank you for coming on here and giving us a bit of insight on how you chose your employer. And what's great is every person I've had on so far has said something a little bit different. So when this is all put together, it is going to be it's going to be great episodes. So
No
so thank you very much.
worries.